Hello students, today we will study about Wheatstone Bridge. Wheatstone Bridge is an application of Kirchhoff's law. We learned about Kirchhoff's laws, two laws we studied. One is junction rule. In the junction rule, we said that the sum of the currents entering a junction is equal to sum of the currents leaving a junction. That means the algebraic sum of the currents in a particular junction is going to be 0. So that means sigma I is equal to 0. And the Kirchhoff's second law, which says that the changes in potential in a loop, right, and that is 0. So what is that? That is called loop rule. Okay, and the loop rule says that the changes in potential. What do you mean by changes in potential? According to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. So I into R is equal to 0. Using these two rules, we are going to construct a circuit, a network, which is called Wheatstone Bridge or Wheatstone network. What it has actually, it has 4 resistors, right, which are connected. 4 resistors are connected at the 4 arms of a square. So I am going to draw here a Wheatstone network. These are the 4 arms of a square, right? Now I have connected 4 resistors, and symbolically we call this as P, this as Q, this is R, and this is S. There are 4 resistors are there, right? And now I connect this to a battery. For it to function, I need to connect it to a battery. I connect it to a key, and then the circuit is closed here. Okay, key and the battery, positive and negative, it provides a potential difference V. From positive, the conventional current will flow like this. Let us say the current is I, and the same I will come back to the negative terminal. Now look carefully, there is a junction here. When the current I comes here, it will branch out, right? And let us say the current through the resistance P as I1 and R as I2. So according to the junction rule, at the junction the current I is equal to I1 plus I2, right? Now after coming here, there is a point here. I am going to connect a galvanometer at this point here. Between these 2 points, I connect a galvanometer, and a galvanometer measures small amount of current. So the galvanometer has a resistance itself, okay, and that resistance is G, let us say. Look carefully, a galvanometer is an instrument which measures current, small amount of current in milliampere. It has a central scale, it has a central pointer, right? It either deflects in the right direction or deflects in the left direction depending on the direction of the current. Keep this in mind about galvanometer, and every galvanometer, it has its own resistance, that is we are calling as G. So let me call this point as A, this point as B, this point as C, and this point as D. At this junction, the current which is coming here is I1, again splits up into 2 parts. Through the galvanometer, let us call the current as IG, and through the Q, it will be I minus IG. Suppose let us say I take 10 ampere current is coming, and through this 1 ampere is going, then 10 minus 1, that is 9 ampere, will pass through the resistance Q. Just an example for you, right? Now let us say as the current is coming, the G is coming, so these I2 and IG, they meet at the point D, and they pass through S. So what is the total current here? I2, which is coming from here, plus Ig, right? And this is the current coming here, it's the current coming here. So what is the current coming here? I1 minus Ig, I1 minus Ig. This and this plus I2 plus Ig, they both come to the point C, right? Ig plus Ig minus Ig gets cancelled, so I got I1 plus I2, and I1 plus I2 is equal to I. This is basically Kirchhoff's law, junction rule. The sum of the currents entering should be equal, okay, so that is leaving. So that is what is the whole process is all about. A Wheatstone bridge consists of four resistors P, Q, R and S. Keep this in mind. They are structured in the form of a square. Now we are going to take loop rule. We will take the loop rule. What is the loop rule? What is the loop which we have to consider here? Let me take the loop A, B, D, A. Okay, a loop is to be a complete one. Loop A, B, D, A. Where I start, there I end. A, B, D, A. So this is one loop. Okay. Now we will find out what are all the changes in potential. Let us see what are all the changes in potential. What is the potential? V is equal to R into I according to Ohm's law. And the resistance is P and current is I1. So P I1 plus. Right? Now I come through this Ig G, that is the next current, G into Ig plus. Now I am coming to this point, again I am going this direction. Now watch carefully. The current I2 is coming in this direction, downward, but I am taking the loop upward. Fine. So it is opposite direction. So instead of plus, what we have to do, we have to put a minus. You put a minus sign and the change in the potential, R into I2, R into I2, which is equal to. Is there any cell in this loop? No cell. So naturally the EMF or total potential here is 0. Keep this as one of the loops. We will now consider another loop, let us say, right? And this loop, what is this loop here? Let us consider the loop to be B, C, D, B. Let us consider this loop now. Again, I start from B and go to C. Loop B, C, D, end up at B again. End up at B again. Let us see what are the changes in potential. I1 minus Ig is the current passing through the galvanometer. This is Q across the Q, resistance Q. Fine. Q into current. Now come like this. Again you see current is moving upward and I am coming with the loop downward. So S into this, but there is a negative sign, minus of S into I2 plus Ig. Okay. Now again I am going upward direction. Right, this is downward and this is upward direction. Ig, G, Ig. Again, minus G, Ig is equal to 0. There is no, again, potential difference possibility of a cell or anything. So that is 0. Now, we take a special condition. What is that condition? We are going to set the potential at B and potential at D as same, equal potential. So if it is equal potential, then what will happen? What is the consequence of it? I can show it to you with the help of a small model. I got a pipe through which water is passing through. When the water will pass, if it is in same level, from the ground, same height, it is not going to pass, no water will flow. Once you change the height, there is a change of the height, there is a flow of water. Similarly, if B and D are having same potential, will the electrons flow? Will not flow. There should be changes in potential. There should be a difference in potential, right? Difference in one positive, negative, difference in potential. When there is a difference in potential, then only current will flow through. If there is no difference in potential, if both the points B and D remains of same potential, no current is flowing through. What does it mean? When no current is flowing through, what does it mean? That means current through the galvanometer, Ig is become 0. Ig has become 0. That is called null deflection. What is that called? Null deflection. That is no deflection. Okay, in the galvanometer. No deflection or null deflection. So we made these two same potential. No current is passing through the galvanometer. It is not showing any deflection. It is here like this. So we will make here in the equation Ig to be 0. If I put Ig is 0, I will get an equation Pi1 minus Ri2 is equal to 0. What does this imply? This implies Pi1 is equal to Ri2. Take this as one of the important point. The second one is Ig is 0 again. This Ig is 0 again. This Ig is 0 again. So Qi1 minus Si2 is equal to 0. Or I can take it from here. Qi1 is equal to Si2. This is another important relationship. Once I have done this, I remove all the other things in this, right, and only take the result. Okay. So what is the result here? Pi1 is equal to Ri2. This is equation 1. And Qi1 is equal to Si2. This is equation 2. Right. And remove all this out of it because we need only the final result. Let us divide equation 1 divided by 2. That is Pi1 upon Qi1 is equal to Ri2 upon Si2. That is I1 gets cancelled, I2 gets cancelled. You get P upon Q is equal to R upon S. And this is called Wheatstone balance condition. This is referred as balance condition. Okay. So this is the most important result which we get it from this whole derivation. You have to remember very carefully, P is a resistor, Q is a resistor. The ratio P upon Q should be equal to R upon S. If that is the case, then you will find that, you will say that the balance condition is obtained. Okay. So this is the basic thing about Wheatstone bridge. Application of Wheatstone bridge is meter bridge and potentiometer, which we will see in the next video. Thank you so much.